networking.
Good afternoon from Accra, everyone around the world. It's a beautiful sunny day in Ghana's capital. Today is Ever Day. Most of you will say Ewe, but it's actually Ever. This language is spoken across 3 countries in West Africa: Ghana, Togo, and Benin. Today we have someone who's done so much work as far as Ever is concerned. She is actually a director at the Ghana Bureau of Languages. She herself is an editor and a writer of Ever. She has done works that are being used across several sectors within the educational and general space. The name is Benedicta Esi Anibri, and for the next hour or so, we'll engage her on her work, on the importance of the language, and the future of our local languages in Africa. Welcome, Esi Wisdom.
Yo, Akpa. Yo, ham ya Wisdom.
Yo, Maraku, ate aglo nyara kavaracho wonto dukyonchi na mia, hafini ajegoma.
Oh, matamfa. Abale na grova yena. Nkonyenye Benedicta Esi Anibri. Modom le Bureau of Ghana Languages. To kaka 1992 ma. To ma ukwa mfefe mavado afia. Ma wodola balong la be Bureau afia. Mi wodola Ghana gbogbo mo wi de king. Abanya mala Kofi Akpabli ta nyahama la ma mi wona mi to na gbaloma mi wona na gbalo ha da gbalama ma ye to ma ufa mo fafa ha nyamto ma jagbagba enlo agbala do yo fata nya yin mama gbadabu adidi fa ajo ado la o fagbe chichia o ba kokwi ma secho fagbe fa gomoro pa strong fagbe pla bubu ado onye gbala o yi o ka mo o la fagbe ma
Yo, ka awe wodo.
Akpa.
Ghana kple Evodukɔ kple Afrika katã takpe na o.
Amen.
Alobe ma dze gɔme kple biabia ya.
Okay.
Ale gba ƒe ŋkeke me ɖe leke ne kpɔ tso vegbe ƒe teƒe. Abe gbedodo ene.
Awo ŋgla nya be le gbe ŋkekewo mea, vegbe kpakple edegbe bubuawo katã wo to yim kple susu be le míaƒe sukudenyawo alo gbalẽsrɔ̃nyawo mea, womegagbalẽ degbeawo srɔ̃m abe ale yi ke wowɔnɛ tsã be ne mieyi sukuxɔ ame sia ame nasrɔ̃ edegbe abe vegbe ene le gɔmedzesukua ha o abe alea wosrɔ̃na yevugbe English gbe kpakple akɔnta ne megale nenem o. Ta mi vegbe me yiwo tso ɖe le me ne vegbe gbɔgblɔa mie vɔvɔm be ŋkeke aɖe gbɔna míaƒe gbe egbɔna kuku ge nenema nye Ghana gbe gbɔgblɔwo katã hã ta miedom ɖa be na anyo dziɖuɖu na gbogbo asi atrɔ le ŋu be woganɔ egbe gbɔgblɔwo vevietɔ vegbea srɔ̃m le suku haho abe ale wosrɔ̃na English gbe kple akɔnta ene hafi wòde mía dzi elabe ame aɖewo hã evevi aɖewo hã wosusu be evegbea menye gbe aɖeke wònye o ta womelɔ̃na be yewoadoe o menyo ye womedonɛ ne wo viwo hã le aƒe me no le hadome hã ke wo yevugbe kpakple eblugbe kple gegbe kple gbegbɔgblɔ bubuwo dom yi ke menyo kura o elabe míaƒe vegbea egbegbɔgblɔ ƒe asi wònye menye Ghana alo vota ŋuto me ɖeɖe ko wodonɛ le o Togo hã wɔ ŋudɔ Benin to hã wɔ ŋudɔ ye menya be Germany ƒe sukukɔkɔ alo university hã wo vegbea srɔ̃m le afi ma ta míaƒe vegbea magblɔ le yevuwo be international gbe wònye ta le be wònye dada na mí wònye kɔɖo abɔ dzi na mí egbɔgblɔ megakpe ŋu na ame aɖeke o nene mo le nyanya gbonye ma
Barakuma bialo nuka gbo ocho. No me ya fiami ato le vieto nye review nuka gbo ocho.
Amaro ba nyamanya nka tutu gbo ocho mu itu ga kele nyanya nye goma mu yu gbo ocho ayenye ba amaro susu ba na yo so hwegbe a ka atomare kama le yo sho yo matan do ga dunu la pai la ba nyanya me le fifie mosta me tro hwegbe to goma je suku kakaka ire university yenya bolo le mu na ma fie amo le mia do kwa fia na mo sro gba egbe ye na nya professor hai ma nya gbegbo o mo kogoro do fa ta egbe a anya ashikoko le un do wo bia ablibo nya na mi le du kwa ma ga kamaro agbogbo afuram no pam no yikama jabo no na mo ta ma do re jila ko ba je ba jira re cha na ja gbagba o bo kokoro ko ma pan na kokoro ye hegbe hedona ta je ba la re shere na bla liji but no if you want your professor matem no ngro dagbo matem no gro dagbo no gro nya obo o nya masa gomo oh macho a people ga ka fufu nya makpon da shimo ta nya masa gbo anya mpa egwali mata ado gbogbo anya mpa ta odracho vodada ocho jilaro jilagbo ye o to mi apo duplola o ho gbo ba o ma tan wa ga na ba wo so mi apo dagbo le suku ha ho aba english gba pra akonta no
So Madame Benedicta, our artist for today, is outlining the importance of the language, how widespread it is, and how it is even studied at universities in Germany. And this has to do with the fact that at a point, the ever-speaking area in West Africa was colonized by the Germans. And actually, it was the Germans who translated the language into other languages. So she answered the question with regards to why the youth do not take the language seriously. And she explained that it has to do partly with the value that is placed on the language. And this has to do not only with the Ewe language, but also with other local languages in Ghana. She also said that parents have a role to play to ensure that children at the earliest age are familiar with the language. Another reason she gave is the fact that students and the youth generally think that when they pursue the language at educational institutions, they may not end up with job opportunities. Something that she said she does not believe in, because there is a whole world of opportunity for local languages, especially in this day. At this stage, I would like to continue with our interesting chat. I would ask our guest to share with us a few things from her book, one of her books, Mama Adidi Gbadabufe Ajo Adeo. These are very interesting sayings. Some of them border on riddles, which can be used as competition, as games, as mind crackers and puzzles. So let's go back to our dear guest, Madame Benedicta.
Apa abale ni egredo ngwana ehwegbe anya mvevi ye le egbe agbogro ma ni so me fa kon pe ngru anyi nyo ba wa nya foro o fia foro pami le agbenono ma ta le me hakpanyara klanga to bi stripa enyamamleo ye mi apo egbe alo egbe o pe de kon o pe vevi nyenye ma jago happy book free na vatro magaya ado paji ple nyave via siaoba vignon mi gangle bo nous voilà la dugban la onye mi gbanya na mi avio e mi a ho le jo nyenye blibo ka atola mi galio mi dauro mo zojeji bana dulana chireji le ŋusẽ kple lɔlɔ kple kalẽme atso ŋue visetɔ ŋunye na dzilawo kple dukɔ asia glotsi kple si wònye eganye adzagba kple sika duwo ƒe lekewɔnuwo eye nye nunya si doa dukɔ sia dukɔ ɖe ŋgɔ eye nye dzidzɔ le agbe sia megbe ewɔ asegbe dzi elé adu ɖe te eya ta vidzagla ne trɔ xɔ eƒe agbenɔnɔ ne sɔ fenyila ne dzudzɔ ŋkugatoto alakpatɔ ne srɔ̃ nyateƒe toto ke fiefiwo amesrɔ̃xɔlawo kple amekudolawo ya la gome aɖeke meli na wo le aŋlɔwo ƒe kesinɔnuwo dome nye dukɔ kple ame siawo maɖu hotsui nyui o negbe dzaa ɖewo trɔ nɔnɔme esia ta visi be yemele to ɖoge o la míakpɔ nɔƒe nɛ le tɔkɔ atɔ̃lia aƒetɔ ameyingbe f kwasi fiawu ƒe agbalẽ yi ke woyɔna be tɔkɔtɔ̃lia yi me míeɖe ha kpanya ya tso gake le dekɔnu ƒe vevinyenye ta le tɔkɔtɔ̃lia ma mea agbebaɖa yo agbebaɖa nɔm amesrɔ̃ xɔm alakpa dam ta wokplɔe ɖe tɔkɔtɔ̃lia woyina woku kufia tso genu adiwo ɖe dome wòtana tsi anyi akpaviwo nava to dɔ ŋku no naku yenye evi dzagla evi masetɔŋu ƒe tohehe le blema yita hakpanya ya gbɔgblɔ be edze be le egbe me hã ɖi dzilawo na hewoviwo le agbenɔnɔ nyui me nuteƒe wɔwɔ me yi ke nye míaƒe ʋegbea ƒe gɔmeɖokpe elabena míebe dekɔnua menye ɣeɖuɖu ɖeɖe ko nye dekɔnu nye míaƒe wudodo míaƒe eŋuɖuɖu míaƒe ŋuƒo eŋu yiwo ale mie ekɔnu geɖe esrɔ̃ɖeɖe ameɖiɖi ŋu geɖe ye egbea ye ne gblɔm ɖe viwo kɔ esrɔ̃m ale viwo naɖu ŋue hã ale wòƒo ŋue hã yiƒe hehe le míaƒe degbea me yita edze be míatso beléle tɔxɛ ne míaƒe degbea ye le nyagbalẽ ya me mama adidi gbaɖebu ƒe adzo aɖewo blema yi ke be tv meli o social media meli oa efie me ne míadzilewo agbledede yi koe nye dɔ le blematɔwo si ne wotsɔ agble gbɔ woɖu ŋu vɔ ɖeviwo kpe ɖe wo dzilewo ŋu woɖe ŋu wɔ ŋu sia ŋu vɔ dzilawo woƒoa ƒu ɖeviawo ŋu wotɔ dzonu ne wodzo to ma amehehe ƒe mɔnu wònye efia adzoa efia na hadome gbenɔnɔ ale ke naɖu ʋeʋli fefe hã wònye be ne woɖu ɖokuiwo ne mieʋua ʋlim woɖu dziwoa nɔnɔ ale ke nalé ɖokuiwo menye be nawɔ dzre abe le taflatsi ne míekɔe sɔ ɖe míaƒe gbe ƒe dunyahehe ha abɔbɔ vovowo ŋu ne nɔviwo gblɔ natso yi kple ƒo ɖe nɔviwo ŋua ema agbenɔnɔ fia mi be ameɖokui dziɖuɖu ne mieʋu ʋlim ye woɖu dziwoa edze be nanɔ anyi kpo menye be natso kpo ela ehoʋiʋli fefe nye ɖeviwo mana ɖe akpa eve me nato dzo woɖe gɔme wotui nɔvia naɖe gɔme ne meɖe gɔme wobla ke natɔ dzo bubu vɛ nava xɔe enye ŋusɔsrɔ̃ agbenɔnɔ ƒe afɔɖoƒe fiafia ye míadzilawo wɔna tsã gake ye be tv vava kple fefe bubuwo geɖe tv vava yevuwo be social media vava ye le míaƒe fonuwo ɖe asi ye ga adzo tom ta adzo geɖewo li adzo womega ewɔ mo gake wosrɔ̃ le sukuxɔme adzototoa enye eʋeawo ƒe lekewɔnu maŋlɔɖiwo yi ke wofiafiam le sukuxɔme gbegbegbe ye woɖona dodokpɔ hã le eme be ɖeviwo naɖo ŋu ta nyagbalẽa ƒe taɖodzi nye be eʋeawo ƒe lekewɔnu vevi ya magabu ɖe mi o magabu dzi abu ɖe amame o wòanɔ anyi evidzɔ vitsoɖo be ame sia ame nakpɔ gome le me ta le kpeɖeŋu me nyadzo ɖeka le gbalẽ ya me be danye ɖo agbadzo dzi nyemenya nu ka tɔge wòala egɔme ɖi gake mene ŋuɖoɖo hã ɖe eme ne míebe danye ɖo agbadzo dzi nyemenya nu ka tɔge wòala efia be egɔme nye be efunɔ danye fofu nyemenya nu ka dzige wòala ata dzi gake nyemenya gbe yi gbe ke wòdzi via afi mi katã mienya be ŋutsue danye dzi nyɔnu yite wo be Daniel Roba Joji, Yamanga Togolo. Hey,
Mm.
Ajuma Gomanyama.
Missy Rafiak body. No matter yeah. She's been able to establish some historical developments of the language. She cited a book written, a groundbreaking book actually in by Wan Fiao titled Toko Atolia, which is the fifth landing stage. And that book actually talked about the discipline nature of society, ever society, the punishments that are exacted when people break social norms, such as when they commit adultery, when they commit murder, when they steal. Now, these set of moral values were so well established that it gave the Ewe people a certain kind of characterization that they are God-fearing, they are outright. That's the traditional basis. And she also cited a royalty. The Togbisri of the Anglo, for instance, was also someone who did a lot in terms of promoting the language and then the norms, the customs, the traditions of the language. She cited Ajototo, which among the others is a way of engaging the mind and also engaging the intellect, the spirit of the people. Now, this has to do with people sitting around and then sharing or challenging themselves with riddles and puzzles. And these riddles and puzzles are based on the particular society. So it has to do with the animals, with the trees, with whatever is within the environment. And then engage these young ones to provide answers. It's a competition, it's a socializing activity. It also is something that allows people to accept defeat in good faith. So she went on to give an example where she says that, okay, my mother has put a bowl on fire, but I don't know what she's going to fry. Now, that is the challenge. And an answer could be that, well, this is actually pregnancy. There's a woman who is pregnant. No one knows whether it's going to be a girl or a boy is going to be delivered. So she's bemoaning how this activity, very interesting activity, is gradually getting out of fashion, to the extent that the video games, the WhatsApps are taking over. But she is proposing that these things can still be used with these modern gadgets. So at this stage, I'll go back to our guest writer and artist to share with us a few more, and then possibly give us, because I know she has a sweet voice, give us a song in effort that would let listeners and viewers appreciate this very important language in West Africa. Melada. Melada.
Papa.
Aha. Amonu. Atanyiji si adavi atanyiji. Atanyaji haviviara jinami. Aga yiji kle ajonyao. Sia. Davi. Davi. Aha. Atanyiji. Hello, Miada. Miada. Hello. Okay. If I
you have to.
Okay. Sorry about that. Maroko Ataiji.
But vinoma wajo. Vinoma fana. Hajiji hagbama globare. Vinoma fana. Na vinova fama. Kavia okodomi vid zuga. Ta hama miafiamba. Na nye vidada. Ye na jivie vilashiwo. Maganye de tu bivio. Adjebe na lebe ne viwo. Ahou. Akpla unyeba. Ofa zwa mrovuonu. Na vinoble viora kama. Agachacham. Fofa ma be de tu bivio nyana. Ka avi ogbodoma vinoga yika yevu gbogbo ngba street children ala ba malo nwa shimalo nwo dada ma nkulam rewu avi no ye havi onwu tu atonya bo yidoma abe wodo acho gave nyuna no foma akpo review ogbo ta ehia de wa yo kata le de konwa ajo konwo manami fia ajobubu de kabe efia famigui bumatu efia famigui bumatu agomade de nya kokloji yikaba kokloji a na gbe onya gbako o bagata mashiami na twe ashi aga atu ya daratako ita uba efia famigui bumatu na via kokloji na gbe bagata tutugo bagata hego enya ajuma hapa agomade abubu yenya ba fiafo koklo ro to ho kaka fa blele gota agomade agomenya ba ebli a na po bli la achim ola gblema apoba na bli agbahaja akana buke o kana fine onya pona ta oba fiafo koklo otata fiafo koklo ro to ho kaka fa blele gota la ba blianto la goboama le blitiang la goboama enya po abuke o le awdu to kore blia ka la chianwa efia ba koklo nyada kore blitiang kaka ma jajamo ta enya gogolo ye hama hala fuma yijia ni
Den mabialo de na jihara mia.
Majihama fa.
I miss you.
Majihama fa kaka maya. Ni ko ba nya kwanwa amonwi. Ba penya ba.
Na tan ajihama na mia.
Ajo anwuhuhu. Na mi ada togo yo fovu a. Wo funa, wo wona introduction alo ngodo do vuara iko nyajo. Obo wajo wom. Tale nyajo bana ya ma. Ba wajo yara ika hada li ogbo na boji na ba. Ajo viada mi lakpa na ma wajo viada. Ajo viada ni lakpa na ma wajo viada. Afia ba ye bona ajo toga ta mi dre nyaro kwiro. Ye ever have ye gbogbo mba. Vino me wajo. Vino lajo wa vi wo chi gbodo me. Vino me wajo. Vino lajo wa vi wo chi gbodo me. Ikafia ba na divi na nyon divi ko. Fafo yo na fanala de tugima. Baka jaba na fi. Na va dashi vi o nda poma. Va fafofom. aba da to be mena galana bi o godo mi vichiga yika yevu yo young baba alo English to yo young baba street children la ba washi ma plow ashima malo mu enye mu ya ha afara maji kaka habubu ha galama ikenya to adidi mu na mi yinko ya gaji ha na model
mejiga mejiga akpa bereku lododo hanya gbamia de gbefe nuvevia akpavevia deka aten aglo nya deka varacho lododo nchiana mia
lododo nya gwa oba lododo wa wonya to kwa jankple yikafia ba jankpla do vivina lododo a pie kwa enya nya legbe are yika chichia o twide mapie abanya nyagbere kaina akonwam omo grogo fun rokoba abale korama ogbon topo ma fun won via enya gere lema tayo graba enya nya legbe kaka o twide mapokule onya nya piare yo bro na re le nyagbere kamaika amu konframa amu nya onya amu konframa lema gade lododo ha uto nyato gyo wukpa lododo dadi to wukpa nkulelere anwum achi ogle atoshishi ogle angada ala ogle aha ogle onya lododo aro yoko pa kodem na ala aha achi o toshishi o abala porama toshishi bana de kwa avulala yamapa avulala ite raga fofongba no panyu na ma yenye rodade no do fofong da ta kwika anya chimwa akoba fofongwa wo fine ala ba ta panyu ne ito da ro ta no do ha da shara unya na ma chichu mfuma uko lo do ra ka ko dama ko abla apo nya kata mfu ogbon to ko ma susumata yo nya lododo ha onya va o pole ka on manglo di o motor ka iko so sumle nya ko su le gbama dodo ko di fa yififi la wasi dodo ko fa yififi la ha o bie nya to lododo ta ma o nya gbala ya ha aba ajo ka na ba onya na na ko le dadi ikama abu le tom ala ba lododo la o mo jilara ka mo fo via mufu atolo dodo de gbangba bale o na jo na enya ogbo no le atokun wo da tom da mu ikafa yin rododo renya atwovi wodo zama dore kamalio afuvi ma chi afumo kuna o subo rododo oli fun kaka agbo be ogbo na so plan nya ya gbo la yim chi ogbo
Madam Manam Yato Afia Gaiti, Nama with for my lover, Achan Lodo Viaro, Ada Shinchino, no Madam Manao.
Okay,
so she's been going on about the importance of the language and some of the functions. We've done the riddles, and I'll just share one with you. So one is the Kakpi of Le Agadim, which means two gentlemen are descending. That's a riddle. Two gentlemen are descending. If you are guessing, let me just shorten your worries and troubles by giving you the answer. Two gentlemen are descending. It simply refers to tears. When someone is crying, the two tears dropping from both sides of the face, the cheek. So that's an example of how the ajo goes. She went on to talk about another aspect, function of the language, which has to do with proverbs. She said proverbs are a way of bringing the wisdom and the realities of the society into short sentences, where people learn from it, where people are advised from it. People are also giving warnings and counseling just by the proverbs. And these proverbs are usually used by the elderly, parents, and in the royal palaces. Children are not put together to be taught proverbs, unlike the Ajo. But what happens is that as long as the children are within the social status of the family, within the community, these proverbs are dropped in conversations. They are dropped in exhortations. They are dropped in speeches. They are dropped even in songs and other works of art. So for her, proverbs are something that, in fact, she said she used a proverb to explain a proverb. She said proverbs are the jenkler of the ear. Now, jenkler is a very, very special dish. It is actually a ceremonial dish used to celebrate a very, very great event. It's out of cornmeal with usually tomatoes, pepper, and then a red oil. Sometimes you use meat, goat, chicken, fish. But the important thing is that jenkler is not a staple. It's not, you won't go to an ever home and find them eating jenkler. You may have to ask what is happening in this house today, because it's a special ceremonial food. So he's saying that proverbs are the jenkler of the ear. Okay, so the moment a proverb is dropped, you know that something special has happened in communication. And of course, she has done a lot of work in proverbs as well. So at this stage, I'll let her drop a few proverbs and then I'll explain as we go along, if I can, because I'm not the expert. She's the expert here. Davi, Malaku, Jinami.
Yo, abale na ye groma na. Ma grolo do do na ya na ramano. Ye nya ba la nya gbala ma lodo nya gbala kata lodo do madura abederum. Ba
Okay.
na to na nya ba lodo do yo ole vasere z. Aba gomajaja aba kwimo no amasi odo akonwe o. Aba kwimo no amasi odo akonwe o. Aba vuvu medi anya na mo. Abe kwanu le ahango. Abiku gagbo afọnlana na mo. Ablometi koji nya okata manya nyawo. Ablochi mo bobo anya na yevu moto. Ablochi mo bobo anya na yevu moto fu. Abobo mo atao.
Enya le mi ogia.
Aw.
Nobody. Na gle akadema le fuma. Na gle ko to ntwa le fuma. Ina adema le fuma. Mi wa bomma na lo matore na.
Na gro do do ma de ko mare fuma.
Na gadi na adema le fuma. Sia. Mi wa bomma na lo matore.
Okay.
So at this stage, I want you to get
if you have a short mat, if you have a short mat, you don't sit in a chair or sit and doze. You need to spread that short mat and use. You use the short mat that you have.
Okay,
that is the first one.
Yeah.
Abo makona tao. The arm is not longer than the abo makona tao. The arm is not longer than the head. That means, you see, the head is where we store our knowledge. So your hand, you only use it one or two. But if whatever you are going to use the hand for, it is decided. It comes from the head, the thinking camp. No matter how rich a person is, he may need even a needle. No matter how rich you are, you also have a need, and that can be just a needle. Another one, that's the fifth one or the fourth one. Abibe yele avoko doma kakele ama. The needle says, even though it is in the midst of a cloth, a bundle of cloth, it is still how do I say it? Naked.
Yeah, naked.
The needle says it is naked, even though it is among a bundle of cloth. So that is that one.
Yakurakaki.
Okay. Abiku gagbo afonlana nam. If you have a sore, then the sore will heal. Another time it will come. It will come back. One day, that sore will cut your leg. Abiku gagbo afonlana nam. If you don't treat the sore properly, it goes and come. It goes and come. One day, one of your legs will be chopped off. Where the sore is, it will be cut. Then you become a one-legged person because you refuse to treat the sore properly. That is just the moral, the facial. How do I say it? It's just a literal meaning. There is something. If you have something to do and you don't do it properly, you don't attach that importance to it, to do it properly once and for all. It will go and come back. It will go and come back. And one day you will be the loser.
Okay. The reason I allowed her to translate her own proverbs is because of another proverb in Eva. We say, in other words, when the head is there, the knee does not wear the cap. So that is the beauty of it. I allow the expert to look at it. Now we'll proceed with one of the works she has done, Lau Pugbe. David Benedicta, in this work, has looked at how various issues related to the language can bring knowledge, wisdom, understanding to the people. So I would like her to make a comment and then maybe share one or two juices from this very brilliant work. Lau Pugbe. Yadada Amonuli.
Yo, and Lau Pugbe ha, a lododo nye, gaka, unya lododo toheo, la susu yang ya. To chiche opon kulele remwa obo ana global khayi global achi global itema ba la opogbe ikafia ba alododo ikania to gbi odunna ohun ya o ogbo e poram da divi komariba amadada panu fudu fe odua fudo da divi komariba amadada pa fudu fe odu afudo ikafia ba na lonkura nwa na dadi no paple viawe no zozo na dada afuaduma na fika enwi kaduma dada la yidumo yihale ta we ko mi agroba yevuba like mother like daughter enwi kana poji ola owo ma iwoga ohanala ita na jiola manna podo agbonono fo pongre munyiwa kana nyaba anwi kede fi po yo wana na jiola manna agbonono fo podo munyiwa na ma no noga avia hale itoba yevuba like father like son like mother like daughter tanya bagbo na bi bajeba nya jilo na na mi hehe to opa mi nwie ba o ma gadu npo abu haba dadiba anwu ka ye pona atromuraga ya vue pona no wo dadia na lonku dadia maka hu mapa pa ho kaka vue na po amafofofo ni ha aglido anyado lia ba ya ba mi akomu agble Kaka we nshia ngo poko ebe agble ne me nya ma gbetoro ha marelia anya mpoli pola no ku mfiara ko twe gbe kaka marelia akoi kaka makoi a choy bona fi lo gaba gbamanda ta ele agbanono lododo oye ma gbova igba agbanono pa foro pa fia mi oleni onfro meni ta na sere ka ko na fia no do le emchi da di o pe ma gbro anya delia
aw eji gafo ma loba afimia aijia ma bia ber hare galini sese gacho bowo ala bo gba fifina mi to o mo fe energia must oba de last go magbana de chi o
ye pepepe hauli fun nya ajo gbalama mama didi gbada bu fa ajo adewa mama nyen kwenya abla adidi ye pe haya
okay
yes apalu ha onya agloba adidi etamlo yika yala adidi ade tayalo komadi die etamlo mawalaka adidi ade tam yade komadi die etamlo mawalaka agokai majanawa mawalaka namadiham grenama mawalaka mayom agbenama mawalaka kukuko madanao mawalaka wayom wagbenama mawalaka na wobreham masaga mawalaka afia haya gome nyabere adidi atema nyahomola adidi komubo komada echoma na gbada adina majagoji wo yo na grena ma da kuku na o no grena ma masaga ba majago wodo hafana ma ha no fiana no nyimi awo manye ba goya majala jiore no wo bremi adon aba adidi ade teyelo ye mama nya hade adidi eti okulo woda adi ifo chino noma haya ojia hadi woda di ifo chino noma onochia ewoku da hagbo ha okro na nmi lododo le hagba mama okro na nmi da mile marashi yemi ebo yo se hako maka jibubu nani
autobo nya dona kana yoba koku masato
kokwi masacho
aha maraku koku
masato
koku masato ajo dinamiti aba na a konuji akunyare ka maraku
okay kokwi masato a afiaba kokwi a enye hunko le anro doma ocho nyato bi ocho hunko ahun aba mo wi ato ye le anro mo ye fo da shiade wonya hun reto ye la anro ma anro abuawa atonwuduna ye no jivia ahun ya ka de via fofonya ahun ma ye de via hanya le poroma nya fofonya nya batawa kanya ha batawe manya ta nko le ushi vovovo ahun da shiade ple yi fonko vovovo yite anro glod odo aloba kokwi masacho alaba na bate le poroma na bate toto nko na avia apa avia nyonvi ngogbi to ba kokwi a na nya like o mafia bo ha na to kokwi na vio ite igome ba ma nko saga nko na vivi no ba o nko ya nya solo kama tu ya bale ya kemia no vi yevu no ba mara yon be yesi ko ba nko nya yesi no ba o mama nko nya kofi ko ye ha nko nya kofi dabi hafi na nya kofi a kafia ba anya vi oji o le mutu vi ko oji le firagbe yo na nko e ba kofi nyon vi yo oji le firagbe nko nya fi alo afiwa asagbo kata pe o fo nko o mo ji ga firagbe na ba to ko firagbe nko neneme nyele angloma ye aba glova yiba hlonko ole angloma hloma wi aton ye la angloma la po hlon amladao ajoviao batao kakaka vasera le yiata na le yia de mo matan ayo kata kaka hlon de share play fonko ta na manya yi ka to kokwine fonko aviawa wo matan chochogo yaba matan kos takasaga ko aba ya haya twi wa fifi namta awo na nan tai wa uchonko ye gomas de gomas sasala wa fonko de shia de shi nko li vo Gigi fonko Gigi haklamonko vonovinko hlonko ahanonko ahamanko jajanko jikwinko woni subo de shada pepepe na mara jikwiji mfiaba na jivia oku Nigeria to ba ogbanje na jimo kukuma nkoreli uko na nko na dia ba ifa maka joji na ku no gafa wi han apa mara ta ye via nkonya gbolon jikwiji ko nya ba nkoma amara nkonya bola akuba nkoma bogon nya ma bona de via hugo ye nya awfo nko de share nko yoka wochona rokuro ojila ajila uba subo akura mu ikaw ji okhosam akura mu ikaw ajoro ji afi o to nkoma blona ba de viara dada ji o to nkoni ba geye ji ofa ala ba amu yoka jofi wona yoka amu yoko ka fi ba fa ji gala sonyo pomoto geye ji ofa enya hamanko nko yiko chona ma banya hamanko enye adawam adra
yeah aglofia ba adinwo
magloba di unye papa nko ya de adi unya le gbegbe ala bana mu fun ne nya magboro kako obanye magblenyu ka woji won blo unya nya gbogbo va domano to gbogbo nya va domana mo ale gbegbe ani mo no program o le gbc bo sa ba maga no nkoma yomo nkoma maga yeta mo rashila muchi adawama adi munya va o nko rodi ama nko adi na mamuta yewa ajamya nya le kamya chonko nya no vinya nyon de kankwenye yankwenye amono ovo ya masha mono yifo nya le gbegbe takanya nya ta maglobo nya hamanko adi munya.
We've now entered into the realm of naming. Naming within the Ever community are special events. You don't just name for naming's sake. To begin with, there are clans, and no matter how sweet a name is, you cannot take the name which is not of your clan. Okay, so clans have their names, which show where they come from, but names also among the Ever show the position of their birth, because there's a name for the first birth, there's a name for the second female or male birth, etc. Now, there are also names that express the lived experience of the parents before that child was born, or so when you have a child that comes after series of miscarriages or after series of child deaths, the names that come with that child who is surviving is usually a kind of name that has nasty donations, so that death may not be attracted to that child. So you find a child being called rubbish or being called dustbin. Okay, so the thinking, the belief is that that will keep whatever spirit is interested in killing the babies away. There are also names that shows the prowess of people, their achievements, their pedigree, their background. There are names that shows boastfulness. There are also names that shows what the people aspire to be or to become. So families give names so that the bearers of those names will live out those whatever it is that those names entail. Now, among the Ewe people, it is believed that names taken actually have bearings on the people who carry those names. And I was joking with her because she gave me her own specially given name. And she tells me when I ask her that yes, it reflects in her character because people can say everything. When she adds her voice, then it gives a different tonation to whatever discourse is going on. So they ever believe that whatever name is given to any person, that name has a way of reflecting. At this stage, I would like her to share with us a few names and their meaning, any type of name at all and their meaning. And again, because the heart does not wear the cap when the knee is there, I would ask David Benedicta to explain in English the names that she will cite in Ever. Davi.
Yes.
Marakumonuli now, Sia.
Yo. Kanya yiji pakple dople nko abe dople nko ya afia ba taflachi na nyonwa de dosron ye evime vava moa le blema ogbona ba ove do le tron rebo ba nyonwa na jivi ye le wo ji khosan wa no ve ple do nyonwa fofu eji na via ha va nanye ba nyonwa ji nchu woyo ne ba oklu alo klu nanye de via nye nyonwa woyo ne ba koshi ta ajaba de via awu klu Nazarene le Bible ama Samson na ma ajaba ko yi de tronfo tronwa ye takogene de via gban ye he dege tane de via wo komune de via afi ajila ona je ta kokone de via le won to rokishi ta nko de shiara nchu toli nyon toli abahia ma yona no va pledo o ji nchu yo ne ba na akulu yo ma tonya nyon vie o yo ne ba klufi kakene nye nyon wo ji gba o yo ne ba koshi na nyon wo gaji de nyon wo yo mo ba koshi fi ali de shiara nko de shiara la ifa oui nyon to oli
Para poder chamar na mi lego man.
Baga gugbe agbro.
Audi.
Magre fu gbama.
Nossa goma, chama.
Magre e fu gbama.
Miracle.
I'm saying that in the olden days, according to the beliefs of our great grandparents, if people marry and the couple unfortunately are not bringing forth, they will go and consult. They call some deities baby giving deities, Trohovio. So they consult the baby giving deity, and then when rituals are performed for them, the woman will become pregnant. And when the woman is pregnant and she has the firstborn and she has a male child, they name that male child Klu. In the Bible, Samson is a Nazarene. And according to the Bible, the law was that the parents should not shave his hair. So the same applies to our tradition in that line. It is only the priest of that deity who will be the first person to shave the hair of that clue child, meaning that child belongs to that god. If it is a girl child, she is named Koshi, but if a male child, it is named Clue. And all this, every name in Ever, we have the male counterpart one and the female counterpart name. So in this wise, Clue is the first child of that deity, and Kosi is the first female child of that deity. And the law is the parents have no right to shave to be the first person to shave the hair of the child. They have to send the child to the deity for the priest to perform some rituals for the child before the parent. After that, before the parents can shave the hair of their firstborn. If you won't be tied, you don't send them according to the belief, the tradition. If the child is not sent to the priest to perform the rites, that child, he will grow, but he will not be normal. There will be something wrong with the head. He will not behave properly. Even after today, it's happening. Okay.
Atanya hanuko, atanya hlonkafa, the shadoko, the cover.
Maya ahamanko bogba himava hanuko bo. Ahamanko renyeba. Amawuga.
Okay.
Man is more precious than money.
Okay.
Human beings are more precious than money because money, you can't say money. You can have all the money in the world, but you can't call the money. Oh, come, let me send you to the market. The money will not respond. So money is more important than. Human beings are more important than money. Though money also has its role to play. I'm a wuga.
Okay.
Then I'm haman kobu waranya ba. Ma bada oha. Meaning, let me hide behind them. Let people they pride because they have money. Bragging, I am this, I have this, you don't have this. Oh, me, I don't have anything. Let me hide behind them. As we hide behind, I hide behind them. We are all winning.
Next one.
Okay. Ahamanko alo hanunko.
The shadow. The hanunko.
Ahanunko wa. Chichioba. Bafamba do akala hadam. When you are a cripple, you don't give a tune to the war song. Because you're the cripple. You cannot walk. You cannot stand on your two legs. And when you give a tune to the war song, how will you dance? You can't dance. When you are charged, how can you do it? You can't move.
I like that. The cripple does not sing a war song.
Yita ahanunko no twe no honedo ye no for hanunko ro na le vana amaya kacho hanunko sesela ma vana ne sesela ma ro wonku kalanko nya wonku me rohi wo kala da gbaji a chawo na fa wo na ma ha na wonku wo charge ye wo charge na sesela la ma vana ne wonku ba gbajita the vie me yona hanon ko na machichio na ye the vie metanwa hanon ko yo gana machichio ela ba no chichia o de ko fo ayu hanon ko no no yo fo ne do sesele la ma refano wo no hareji ta hanon ko le poram hanon ko de nyeba ajololo amaya chonko ofo ne do ajololo ye bla vukuvi wo ku hu kaka gbanako acha toji woro na hu yo o malio mo bu malio toji bu wo dagba chona afiara nyegba akoyira kata wo dagba ni gali kotokuo bli kotokuo odi akoyira afiangba wono ehun ya kum le toji ta o na gasugbo avuku hia yo vuku ga pli pom sakata dedinatan alo to do literal meaning ga afiangba na de na on veut vient visa mo danelena na doro wo vivien ye na de gadorete we wo di mo ye na ifa machung poga adrahali onuba ajogban o fone roba ajogban ajovia o kahlan ajogban ajovia o kahlan. Let's say the nest is falling, so the birds are scattered. Kuba chi anchi ejoro achiam ebiona ji so never una no wo ye won maga o ma puta na mo ka ha gbagbaga ni twe ba podon mo nya pa dunya ha ya o na ba bi kata ke bibli anye yiga ye ni erujiwa ka dunya ha fufu ma le o ma maga yin no go ajogban ajovio ka han ye nya kama ha gbo
chichiaoba vivima fona la goma
agokun fifima fona la gokun wa fi ora na shile won
tutu
ago fifi na no dun vuwa won lo na bo no vo fia adukwe akli.
So that proverb means you do not allow the sweetness in a fruit to be finished before you stop eating the fruit, which means no matter how good a thing is, at a point you have to learn to let go. But before we let go of our artist guest today, Madam Benedicta, I would love to say that it's been one interesting journey of ever history, ever language, ever culture, and then use of the various instruments of the language, as in riddles, puzzles, proverbs, etc. Today we've learned a lot. There is even a name for drinking. So if a man is out there in a drinking bar or a pub and is drinking, there's a name that is called or a name that he responds to. And as Auntie Benedicta has told us, it is not everyone who can mention that name. In fact, a child dare not mention the drinking name of an adult, because when that name is mentioned, it actually excites that adult to operate along the lines of that name. At this point, I'd like to say thank you, but we will go back to Madam Benedicta Esi Anibri to share with us one lovely ever song as we sign off. I have been your host, Kofi Akpabli, saying hello from Accra, Ghana. Davi, alabo.
Yo, Adelavo, no voe, no vialie, atubotaba delavo, no vimavo nae, no vialilo, la magbaglo tae, numata, monosroma kahatio. Adelavo, no vimavo nae, no vialie, atubotaba delavo, no vimavo nae, no vialilo, la magbaglo tae, numata, monosroma kahatio. Fonya to gbeji egbo ama be gbeji to de obo atubo tabagbo na mu boyo manya pa hoge mova o. Fonya to gbeji egbo ama be gbeji to de obo atubo tabagbo na mu boyo manya la hoge mova. Oh, adelavo no vi mavo na oe no via lida atubo tabadalavo na no vi mavo na oe no via lilo la magbagno tae no mata mono stroma kahati.
Ayo.
Ayo.
Akaka we want though.
Amen. Akomanio.
James, take it away.